So as usual, what we do in these in these live analyses per week is we kind of just go over some trades that we're looking at entering in on heading into the week, and yeah, that's really it. So taking a look here, I can kind of see that it actually ended up creating a high. Like this could be a key level, and it's starting to look like it hit this like double top here. Now it's tanking downwards, so you could either view this here as a downtrend or as an uptrend here. So I think for me personally, I'm just going to wait to see a break and retest of these lows down here, as I still think that if it's going to continue going up, then I'm going to have to look at it break these highs. But if it's going to continue going down, then I'll be looking for a break and retest of these lows down here. So we'll head on to this pair here. I'm going to see it's coming back up to kind of this area here, and it rejected and came back down. If we were to use a fib maybe from this low up to this high, we can see there could have been an entry point here, but it's not really on a key level, so that for me there, I wouldn't have traded that. But just looking into the future, or just saying like planning for the future, I'll be looking for a break and retest of these highs up here, and hopefully a bit of rejection there, and we can hopefully looking for an entry based off of this key level. NZD USD, yeah, I think I was actually looking at a trade at a short sell on NZD USD this week, but I don't think I actually ended up going in on it. So here I can kind of just see that it's in this overall downtrend on USD CHF. There wasn't really that good of a trading setup though. Like we can see it broke this low, it came back and didn't really reject it at all, it just slashed through. So I can already tell that that's not going to be on the 0.5 level or anything, so it wasn't really that good to trade, so I just didn't trade it. We can see though it ended up breaking these lows, so hopefully it continues going down, and we can see maybe a possible fib using this high, and then maybe something like that if it goes down to this area. So taking a look at NZD USD here, I can just see that it broke out of this kind of range thing. It broke out of it finally. So if I'm looking to trade this, so I was looking for it to break kind of these highs for a while now, as you guys can see. So I'm gonna wait and see if it gives me like a good fib level to trade on. So if I use these lows down here, whoops, that is not my fib. So here, if I use my fib from this low down here, and I use my like my lows and my highs here, if I just look at my key level here based off of this previous resistance point, then we can see that the 0.5 and 0.6 level is right on that key level. So for me, I'm just going to wait for it to retest down to these levels. Once it does, then just do a little trade like this here, and hopefully it goes well. Like it's really that simple. Like that's my whole trading strategy, and it's been working, you know. Like yeah, this is just kind of what I'm seeing on NZD USD here, and yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So I'm gonna just keep this one like that because it looks like it could happen kind of early in the week. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just mark it up like here. Just add an alert in just so that when I'm gaming and stuff I can actually see it if I'm actually even awake. Here I can kind of see on NZ, like New Zealand dollar JPY, I kind of see that it's just in this continuous uptrend. So what I'm going to be looking for is kind of maybe a possible retest on this structure, but it doesn't really come down to that 0.5 area. So like I can just tell just from looking at it. Oh wait, oh it kind of does. If it comes down to here and starts rejecting, then that could be a possible re-entry. Like obviously because this 0.5 level is right on that key level there, so we could actually be looking in for an entry here, but it's not as good as something like this where it's just like clear cut. You can kind of see like it's kind of just been in this slight little uptrend here. We can see there's a low there, and then a higher low, and then a higher low, and then same low, but then it created a higher high up here. So that's like showing signs that it's in this uptrend after this range. So it's ranging there, breaks the high. Now we're just waiting for it to come back to the key level in between the 0.5 to 0.6, enter in, and then play some games or whatever, and then come back in a few hours and you've made 6k. Like here, off of this trade, doing the FTMO, I'd be risking 2% and I'd be making 2.55 times that. So if I have 2,000 and I'm making times 2.55, that will give me $5,100, which is literally half of the challenge in one trade. So you just, and if you just take 2 good trades, like you're just gonna pass the challenge. So that's kind of a possible trade setup I'm seeing here on New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. So I'm gonna mark that up as well. So I'm gonna mark up these 2 New Zealand pairs. And actually on FTMO, after you do like the challenge and stuff, they go over and they do a recap of your trades and stuff like that. I might make a video on it, I don't know. But mine was just telling me that what's it called? My analysis of my trading style was just telling me what like pairs and stuff are really profitable. And a lot of my JPY pairs are pretty profitable, and my AD USD pair wasn't like profitable at all. I actually just lost 3k off of that. But a lot of my JPY pairs are like really profitable, and it's what I make most of my money on, as well as GBP USD. So those are like the pairs I have most confidence on already, and I already don't have that much confidence on AD USD because whenever I make a trade, for some reason it always goes the other way, and I have no idea why. But yeah. So we'll just take a look here. You can what? I don't know what you're talking about. You can literally complete the FTMO trade, the FTMO challenge in like 2 days if you just take 2 good trades. Like if you just found 2 trades similar to this and this both did take profit, then you will just like easily like complete the challenge in 2 days. Yeah, just relax, mate. Alright, hey mates. So like here, we'll just take a look here. There's kind of a key level here, but it's not really big enough for me to trade. Like if I was to mark this up, kind of like this here, like it really just isn't that big. And I can already tell just by looking at it, there's not really going to be a fib unless I were to use this low. But then once again, these levels are just too small for me to trade. I might keep this key level in just to kind of see how it reacts. But in terms of a trading, like something to trade at, it's not really good enough for me. So here I'm gonna move this to this point up here because it's reached this new high. Now because it's reached such a high, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna see like the last time it hit a high like this, right? So it obviously broke this high. The last time was up here. When was this? 22nd of March 2019. So because the last time it hit those highs was like so long ago, we could be seeing possible signs of a rejection and it continuing to head down to the downside here. But it is just in this uptrend here for ages. So I think that the most responsible thing to do here would just be to mark up the levels of support and then just wait for it to start breaking those structures of support and start heading towards the downside. So I'm gonna just mark up that area of support there, and then that's really it. Like if it just starts to break it, then it'll break. But because it is close to those like previous resistance point, you might just want to watch out because it could just start going the other direction after rejecting those highs. Right, quick drink break. Alright. At Sniper, if there's someone who's talking shit to me, if that's hey mates, don't worry about it. He's just a troll. He's actually in the vlog that I'm editing right now. You'll see him. He's just a troll. Don't worry about him. So like here, taking a look at GBP CHF, it's kind of just like over in this overall uptrend here. You can see that I was kind of saying, like thinking that I might change, but it didn't. So this level actually still remains to be like a area of support here, and it looks like there was a bit of a resistance point there. But in terms of like new levels here, it's the same thing where GBP is kind of just shooting through the roof right now, and it'd be the same if we take a look here. We can see that it's just continuing this overall uptrend here. This could be a potential trading setup. If we head over into like the 1 hour, actually, see, you know what I don't like about some pairs is like they have just like no volatility. Like look at how many hours it takes for this to come from here to there. Like it really just takes like a long time, and you know, can't bother trading it if it's going to take this long. So yeah, it just takes ages, you know, it is what it is, but it is in this uptrend here. We could see, let's just move this key level a bit, there we go. Now if we were to use fib from this low to this high, we might be able to see a potential trading opportunity. So here we can see that like a potential entry right on this 0.6 area could be a good sign to enter in on if we are starting to see like a bit of that rejection. And we can see it as well that like this trade here would give you 3.2 risk reward ratio. So we risk 2%, you get 3.29 risk reward. That's 6k. If both of these trades that I've analyzed this week, if they look good and I enter in and they go well and they both hit my take profits, then that's the challenge done, and I can just trade 0.1 lot sizes for the rest of the month, and then like that's it, the trade is just done, right? The whole challenge is done. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me for the burp. Alright, so we'll get rid of this fib here because this was obviously looking for an uptrend, and we did end up seeing a huge dip here. We can see there's this big dip right here. So that could be a sign that it's losing its uptrend momentum. Whoa, if we zoom out here, we can actually see that it is in this downtrend, and we can see that it was unable, it actually created a higher low than this point, right? So there's this low and then there's a higher low here, so that could mean that we could be seeing kind of an uptrend start to form, especially if we see breaks of these highs up here. So I'm gonna just mark out that resistance point up there and just wait for a retest of this area up here, and then hopefully just look for a cute little entry in on that. Now taking a look at this pair here, it's looking like it's starting, well, it was unable to create a higher high, so possibly this could also be heading downwards, right? Like it's just simple. If it can't go any higher, then it's probably going to go down. So like here, it's looking like it can't go any higher, so it's probably going to go down. So maybe we just use fib from this high up here down to this low. We see it's not really it's not really good entry, so delete that. Maybe we just look for a break and maybe we move this key level down to there to make it a bit more accurate to the new markets. Maybe this, I don't know why there was kind of this huge, like there was this big buy up here, but we can see that it did reject it quite a lot. So I'm gonna just drag this along here, and hopefully we can just see like a break of this. And yeah, I don't know what really to do with that pair, but here we can see, I didn't actually realize that, I didn't actually realize that there was a trade set up here, but obviously I did previously because I marked it up. But we can see that like another trade here would be you entering on this key level on a sell on the 0.6, because that's where like it hits the key level. Here it doesn't hit the key level, but here it does hit the key level, so that's where you'd want to enter in on. So you want to enter in between there. You obviously target this area here, set your stop loss to that 0.78, bang, you've got your trade. And as you guys can see, even though it takes like kind of a while, you can actually just see here that it does end up hitting take profit. Now like you can already see with this trade here, hopefully this trade here, and hopefully this trade here, but like you can see with this pair here, this one hit take profit, and this one here also hit take profit. You can see, like, if I just traded properly and I actually entered in on this one as well as the other one on the FTMO account, I would have passed the challenge, and I'd just start clickbaiting my YouTube channel so hard. 19-year-old trading $100,000, how I did it, blah blah blah. And yeah, like, that's how I'd be doing it, kind of. And this is how that's how I trade. And hopefully, like, we can see when I first started my YouTube, it used to be so clunky and stuff, but now it's like so much easier to just look at and understand, as like the concepts just become more simple and simple and simple. And then hopefully we can just get that 100k and just start going for bigger and better things, right? So because I can see that there's that trade there already, I'm just gonna delete it, and we can see that it's had this huge sell-off, right, over a long period of time. So we could actually end up seeing this pair start heading up to the upside. We can see that since this point here on this divergence, it's kind of going up. So we can see here there's this divergence, and over here on the actual chart it's kind of going down. So that is kind of showing us a bit of divergence there, kind of indicating that it's going to start going up. So this could be a cheeky little buy sign. But if you guys have seen some of my videos before where I've tried to trade divergence, it has not gone well. So I'm really going to pass up on that divergence trade. But you know, if we can see kind of a nice little trade like we did previously just here, then I'll enter in. So what I'm going to do is just mark up this area here. I can see it's a bit of support and resistance over there, and then I can see that there is another one just like right here. And then because it's obviously in this consistent downtrend here, I'm going to just mark up the next level of support, because all the downtrend is a break of the support, and then it retests the support, and then it breaks the new support, and like it just, you know. And then here, trade I actually took this week went well. But like now, looking for a new trade here will probably be a break of this, or hopefully it starts going back towards the upside, and probably a break of this structure here. I don't really know if I would like an entry to be here, but I wouldn't just enter in on a trade based off of simply this level. I look for a break of this, like up here, and then I come back and look for an entry around this level right here. So it does actually look like it's in this overall downtrend, so you might have to be a bit careful. But also taking a look at the OBV, it's getting kind of close to that oversold area on the RSI, so that could be another potential sign of an entry. So everything is just potential, right? Nothing is ever guaranteed. So here, look, we can see AUD/USD didn't actually quite end up getting to kind of my, like this. So I was using this low, and I was just using a potential high up here. It didn't end up getting up all the way to that high there, which is, you know, just unfortunate. But we can see that it did end up breaking higher highs. So possible we could be seeing, if we were to just use like this low here and this high up here, we can see that that 0.5 to 0.6 area doesn't actually land on a key level here. So that's already not a trading setup I'd like to take. And yeah, so now I'm gonna just take a look at some of my stocks, and you can see Tesla's just dropped out of that $800 mark, which is, you know, kind of unfortunate. AMD still just ranging. Microsoft is ranging, but at its highest highs that it's like had recently, so just like around this point here. And Apple, I thought Apple just shut up. I don't know what for. Well, you can see here it shut up, but then obviously it did a bit of correction and it's dropped back down. So that's just like what I'm saying there, but I don't really trade those stocks. I just like looking at them. But with that said, guys, that's going to be it from me. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you guys next week. And also, if you guys want to check out kind of my other socials and that, just !Discord, YouTube, whatever, or just check out my YouTube. It'll be in the description down below. But as you guys can see the true trades I'm really looking at this week. And yeah, if anything else happens during the week, just be sure to check out the weekly recap. And yeah, see ya.